Hey everyone, how are you? Why is my volume like that? Good to see you all. Happy to be back after like a 2 hour break. Can I tell you anything else in the last 2 hours? Well, not really. It's about basically the same information. We're not getting a lot of like updates. I thought this might have gone a little quicker and maybe a name, something like that, but not not right now. Yeah, apparently there's gonna be an update at 5 p.m. on channel 9, but it's not a police press conference. I think they're just doing a little segment. But I cannot. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look through any of my sources for you. Yeah, I don't see a lot of latest anything that's changed in the last 20 minutes or half an hour, 1 hour on that one. Hey, good to be back. Good to be back. Hey, Betty C, good to be back. Yep, I see you. And Nika is here. How long can they hold him without charges? I think it's a couple of days. Hold on. I know in the Aiden Bailey case, they went to the court and asked for more time and they kept him for longer. It says here in Victoria, where this offence has been committed, or alleged offence possibly, it says police can only keep you in custody for a reasonable time before they charge you. The law does not specifically state what a reasonable time is. This depends on the seriousness of the offence and how long it takes police to interview you. Now, I've seen interviews down here go for hours and hours and multiple times and over a couple of days. I'll interview you for like 6 hours at a time and try and grind you down. So we could be in for. He's already been in there since about. We'll give him like till like 7 a.m. Say he was raided at 6 a.m. yesterday, and then he was brought in, about 7 a.m. He's been in there about 24, probably about 30 hours. 30 hours so far. They probably would have interviewed him at least twice already, maybe if not 3 or 4 times. And yeah, we'll see what happens. If police start rushing to a certain site or they call a press conference, we know more is happening. Marlene, good to see you. Cheryl Huffman, Peekaboo Cockatiel, Kathy Lynch, Nancy S. How are you? Laura G, Laurie, Sean, Jojo, DJ, Marilyn Landis. Bees are life. Yep, another Maria. Did I say DJ? Hey DJ. Yeah, James Avery. Yeah, not the same as in the US, that is correct. They normally charge you and then interview you, don't they? Well, no, I've seen interviews in the US that last a while, but you guys have certain Miranda rights, right? That it can only be for so long and XYZ. Yep, so down here it's a reasonable time, like this. A reasonable time, however long that is defined. Don't know. But normally if they need more than I think it's more than a couple of days. If they need more than a couple of days, they normally have to go to the court and ask for like a longer period of time and explain to a judge why they need that time. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. I would be surprised if we don't have a major update by tonight. Something like that. I mean, if he's already been held for over 24 hours, we'll see. 48 hours in the US. Okay. Oh, I can. I can. Hold on, my friend. Is the bot not working tonight? Hold on. I'll probably put them in the chat for you. Very kind of you to ask. They're in the chat for you. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Hey, Earthkeeper, how are you? That's interesting. Earthkeeper says Mick Murphy was notified of the arrest by the media. Now, I did see a media. Hold on. Some media were camping out his property. I'm just trying to find that photo. Where is it? There were actually like cameras on him when they saw him. I'm just trying to find it for you. Is it in this article? Let's have a look. Nope, that's not the one. I did see one today where they had been like, I don't know, stalking at his home or something. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let me try and see if the Herald has it for you. Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. So these were the photos from him today after news of the arrest. That's her husband, Mick, there. It says here that, where is it? It says husband, yeah, man arrested. They said husband relieved at news of arrest. Uh-huh. Family members, including Samantha's husband, Michael Murphy, were seen returning to the family home just after midday on Thursday. That was about an hour ago. Mr. Murphy said he was relieved progress had been made in light of Wednesday's arrest. He said police had cautioned him not to make any further comments about the investigation, urging the media to respect the privacy of his family. He added that they were doing okay and would talk when it was time to talk. So there you go. There he is returning to the property or a property. There you go. You can see him on the big screen. Probably a pretty tough day for him, I'm guessing. Not the news that he was hoping for. Uh, we'll see what happens in the future. It'll be, yeah. I think we've talked about Charlie Bazina before, former senior homicide detective. He said the force and local community shouldn't be jumping for joy until charges are laid. I think that's a smart thing. You never know. I've seen other cases where people were arrested and then but it's led to other arrests. Like they're just their gateway to the person. Like what I mean is like maybe they weren't the actual offender; they were just there, and then they want the person who pulled the trigger or whatever. So we don't know. We'll find out. But obviously they've arrested them for some reason. The only thing I could think of is like if there was some big police presence in Ballarat, you would think people would have taken a photo, but maybe everyone's trying to be respectful. Mr. Bazina, who has worked on some of Victoria's most high profile cases, said it was good, early sign, but officers still had a long way to go. He says, my initial reaction is that we're still no further advanced. Is he a person of interest? Is he a suspect? Is he an offender? It's a long way off from getting relief one way or another. We don't know what role this guy has played. Until it's actually done and dusted, there's no point jumping for joy like the police have in the past. They've been let down before. I wouldn't get too excited, not until charges are laid and hopefully she's found. Yeah, that's the main point, right? Find Samantha Murphy. That's the game here. The game is find her. Don't worry about the suspect or whatever. It's find the missing woman. I repeated that earlier on the other show. It's great to hear the rest and blah 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 and all that. It's like, but where is she? Got to find her. She's the whole focus of all of this. It's find Samantha Murphy. So that's what I would like to see next. It says, Mr. Pizzina said officers would be trying to squeeze as much information out of the man arrested before they lay any possible charges. Given the length of time since he was arrested about 6 a.m. on Wednesday, obviously they want to get all information from him. Is he on the outskirts of the case? Is he, like I just explained, he could be just a stepping stone. It says, is he on the outskirts of the case? Is he a primary suspect? Is he a primary offender? We don't know. Police will be wanting more information on him as to what role this person played. It's just interesting that they've been with him for this length of time without charges being laid, while they may be trying to get where is Samantha, and they don't want to charge him until he gives up that information. So that could be why they haven't proceeded as of yet. They don't want to Because once they lay charges, that person's probably gonna ask for a lawyer, right? If you were hit with, like, abduction and possible, hey, let's just talk theoretically, possible hurting someone maybe or, confining someone, something like that, those are big charges, and what's the first thing you're gonna say? "I need a lawyer." And as soon as you say that, they have to stop, they can't interview no more, and it stops their progress in the case. So all they have then is a court appearance. That's all they can do. So I'm guessing maybe they want to try and they wanna find Samantha. That's what it is. They wanna find out where she is. This could be a red herring, I don't know. Who knows? All we can go by is the information we have. That's it. Maybe we have seen cases like that before. Sean said ex-boyfriend or wannabe of the daughter mum got in the way. I'm still wondering why her. Could be a creepy stalker who took a possible, like, fixation on her. Maybe he saw her jog every day through the same neighborhood, sort of got like a sexual fixation or something. Marlene said, I'd be so upset. I think that would be as bad as finding out on social media. I don't know who leaked it, but it appeared about 9 a.m. It just went bang, 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 bang. Everyone had it. So it got released through the police or somewhere. I'm not sure where. But it's happened before. I can tell you a story from years ago. A a guy was on holidays in Queensland, and he found out his entire family had been murdered through Facebook. I'm not kidding. He found out his little sister and his mum and dad had been brutally murdered in a triple homicide through Facebook. He was so upset. I mean, as you would be. Miranda says, had a routine of running. Yes, she used to run this path or sort of area frequently. Marlene says, after watching tons of interrogation videos, I'm asking for a lawyer the minute I find myself in a police station room with 2 chairs and bare walls. Well, no, no. When you ask for a lawyer, it's not then. It's when they get really close to you and then start touching you. That's when you ask for a lawyer because they're trying to get an emotional connection with you and lower your guard. Then then you're screwed. That's when you go, I want a lawyer. That's when you do that. Marilyn says it's horrible. I agree. They're the ones I think of right now, is her kids. I mean, we're adults, right? Our minds can process this kind of stuff a little quicker, maybe a little more rationally. Try be like a young teenager or a, like, 10 or 9-year-old and try process that mom hasn't come home. They're the ones I feel sorry for. Like, I feel immense empathy for those kids. Hey, Reby, how are you? Good to see you. Let me see if anyone else has any. Yuck. Yuck, yuck. Hey, Marjorie, how are you? All right, here we go. Marlene says always ask for a lawyer. So yeah, that's it. Don't have a ton more information. I promise you, as soon as there's something good, I will bring it to you. I just don't want to be one of those channels that rehashes everything, boring for like 4 hours and they're like, yeah, let's read the same paragraph again for the 20th time. I just think we can do better than that. Let's try and stick to stuff that actually is interesting and new. And for now, that's all we have. Local man 22 is arrested over the disappearance of Samantha Murphy 31 days after the Mama 3 vanished while jogging through bushland. We'll find out more when we find out more. Okay. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a press conference. Maybe we won't. Uh, let's quickly talk about Madeleine Soto because there was a lot of stuff that sort of. I thought this had been released before. Maybe I was wrong. It says here, Madeline Soto was essayed by mum's boyfriend for years, documents say. I thought this was released last week in the emergency warrant for arrest. Now, in that emergency warrant for arrest, I can show it to you if you really want, but it's bright white and I don't want to burn anyone's eyes. It says, wherein it is alleged that on between the 20th of the 3rd, 2022, and the 3rd of the 12th, 2023, is when the offenses were committed. And those offenses are sexual battery, familial slash custodial authority, possession of CSAM or, material sexual performance by a child. So people are saying that those photos must be backdated until at least March of 2022. So that poor girl, Madeline Soto, had been living an awful life that you can't wish on anyone. You just can't. It's really horrible. Marlon Clausen says it also depends if the cops are hot, which they never are. They're not cops, they're strippers. You got it wrong. It's the other way around. I know, and she must have been keeping that to herself for years. The description of the photos alone tell me she's like just a real victim. She really was, and really horrible. Really, really horrible what happened to her from such a young age. I mean, she wouldn't even have been old enough to really, again, mentally understand what was happening to her or why it was happening to her at that age. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, disgusting. And that guy is just a absolute freak. He really is. He's just they say monsters are often close to us that we don't even realize. And I think that's something that happened here. Although a lot of people are saying that they are expecting to see charges against the mother. And I would find that very interesting if they do, because could she have known that her daughter was being sexually, molested? I want to say yes. I want to say that she just didn't either ignored it for the sake of the relationship or I don't know, just didn't see the signs that her daughter had completely changed who she was. She shut down, stopped being open emotionally, that type of thing. Became withdrawn. And these are some of the words I've seen associated with Madeleine Soto over the last few days too. So it says, while law enforcement had initially found evidence that Stearns had been abusing Soto when she was 12 years old, an arrest affidavit breaks down how they were able to determine it went back even further. The arrest affidavit for Stearns says he allowed law enforcement to search his phone, but said he had accidentally done a factory reset on the day Soto disappeared. It's very convenient. Oh, my phone just accidentally factory reset itself. Despite the reset, investigators were able to get videos and images off the phone. Yeah, for all the people out there that think a factory reset deletes anything, I can tell you from being a forensic tech, it does not. And I could search your phone or your computer and pull images from 10 years ago that you thought you deleted in 2011, and I'd still be able to find them. So it's good that that technology exists to find people like him. The Orange County Sheriff's Office said disturbing images were found, and metadata showed some of what they found was from August 2022, when Madeleine would have been just 11 years old. According to documents from the Kissimmee Police Department, Soto was a victim of sexual battery, and evidence suggested Stearns was involved. Now, one of the things I heard today was police actually went into the home and they found similar things like sheets and bedding and underwear and clothes in the places they thought they'd find it, and that helped to verify the images that they found on the phone as coming from the family home. So there you go. Here it says a therapist says it's important to talk to your kids about abuse, even if you don't think you need to. Some family members or parents feel they're doing everything they can to protect their children, so it doesn't come to mind to even ask those questions. She says there can be certain indicators that something can be happening with your child, specifically for sexual abuse, things like mistrust, things like not wanting to be alone with a certain person, things like knowing about things that's inappropriate for their age. She says indicators of emotional abuse can be depression, low self esteem, and lack of personal hygiene. When your child shuts down or becomes withdrawn, that is a time to lean in, not from an aggressive perspective, but from a caring perspective, and just talking to them, normalizing talking to your teens about everything, including abuse. I think that is a great message. Make communication open. Don't make things awkward. The more you make things awkward, the less likely they are to ever talk to you about serious topics. You got to, I know it's awful and it makes you just want to like close your ears and go blah, 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 but you just have to do it. You have to do it. It makes everything better and it allows open communication between children and their parents. Even though it sounds awful and it's gross and you know, you might save your kid, another kid, someone they know. Helps. It helps. It really does. Um, yeah, so awful details about Madeline. Then I mentioned it in the last show. I heard that the Osceola County Sheriff actually put up a post on Instagram that was for a seniors fun day, and in that post, he had put a photo of Madeline's body. Apparently, it wasn't very graphic, but you could see clothing and branches covering her in the photo, which is just unacceptable. That it's unacceptable that even that sheriff has that photo on a personal phone or something, or that evidentiary photos are even going anywhere near an internet connection that can go to Instagram. I mean, it's just needs more oversight and investigation into how that happened and why there was that type of photo on that type of device. When you're dealing with things that are part of like a live investigation, you got to have a secure chain of custody. And if you're just sending crime scene photos willy nilly around the police department, oh, look what we found, you break that chain of custody. And it doesn't matter if it's not pertinent to the case or whatever, or it's not going to like make or break your case. It's a trust issue, and it's a trust issue with the community. So, Flower Child says, "Great channel, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you." Marlene, yeah, it's awful, isn't it? Sean says they have ads on TV for those questions now. I've noticed. I did see some on the free to air recently. It's really good. Hey, my friend Robin Lane, good to see you. Happy you could be here. Marlene says, well, I just hope if I'm ever arrested for something and they search my phone, they take into consideration that my Google searches are due to being a true crime. Yeah, I know, right? Our poor true crime people. Hey, hey, hey. Nalana says, I think mum was jealous. Yeah, you gotta put the child first, not your feelings, not your sexual relationship, whatever. You gotta put the child first. That's your number one, not the boyfriend, not you. It's make her safe, make her everything. And I think sometimes people lose track of that in relationships and things like that, and you end up with awful situations like this. Yeah, I hate morning says my Google history is all over the place. Definitely would look bad. Yeah. Love Lighthouses says hi. Hello. Flyer B, how are you? Hey, so Flyer says that sheriff is also up for re-election. That doesn't have anything to do with the photo being released. That part is so wrong. Yeah, I heard that, one of the surprising things in my research about the sheriff that released the photo and surrounding areas of law enforcement and, police and sheriffs is that in the local area in that particular part of Florida, they're not huge fans of that sheriff or Grady, and I was like, "Really?" I was like, I love watching, uh, you know, Sheriff Grady. I love it. He's so good. He did a press conference like 2 days ago and they arrested like 300 people. I love him, but apparently locally, a lot of people are not a fan of his grandstanding and sort of loose, kind of the jokes and stuff at his press conference, and he's sort of like big heading people and stuff. Apparently, a lot of locals are not a fan, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when the re-election happens for sure. They also got in trouble for posting a photo, the same one who released the photo. I think it was the same department. They got in trouble for posting sort of a selfie with Stearns just a couple of days earlier than the photo being released on Instagram. So they've had a bad weekend, very bad weekend. Yeah, may her soul rest in peace. Yep. Reby says my Google and Bing searches are crazy. The authorities would think I had schizophrenia. Maybe. Diamond Heart says I've heard some bad stuff about Grady. Yeah, it's a shame. It sort of broke the rose-colored glasses version I have of him. Like as being someone an outsider, I just really loved his style of press conferences and that. But yeah, apparently locals are not a huge fan. Edget, hey Edget, how are you? Good to see you. All right. So, shall we move on a little bit? Unfortunately, we only get an hour and a half at 9 o'clock, so we have to sort of go quick. All right, let's go to the next story. I wish I had more about Sebastian, and I don't. I really don't have much. Where is it? I will show you what I do have, though. Where is it? Where is it? There's really been not a lot released today on him, unfortunately. If I can find my WKRN, I think that's the right local TV station. Is it? Let's see. It is not. No, it's not. I'm gonna have to keep searching. Hold on. Apparently, I'm not very good at my job. Let's see. Is it WESH? No. Apparently, I have too many links. um, yeah, I actually just don't have very much on him today, unfortunately. Not any massive updates on him. Just more appeals for information. Anyone seen him? That type of thing. I'm just trying to see if we can get anything from the past 24 hours. Okay, here we go. Okay, from the local paper, Lebanon Democrat. Let's have a look. So it just says the search continues for Sebastian. It says as the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers enters another critical day, the Sumner County Sheriff's Department says this is how you can make a crucial difference today. He was last seen on February 26th in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville. They said contact the sheriff with any information you have at the following. It says, that's Detective Carter's contact details and the TBI agent Simmons at this one here. And the Sumner County Sheriff's Office direct line is there. They said the department is asking everyone in the area to meticulously review footage from security and trail cameras. Law enforcement believe that even the smallest details could be key to locating Sebastian. Looking for any footage, no matter how seemingly insignificant, any movements, vehicles, or individuals, you can register that information at Sumner County, whatever this link is, and send them an email at bcarter@sumnersheriff.com. I'll put the evidence thing in the chat. Here we go. Sean says, we once in Australia found a 9-year-old autistic child missing 4 days, only 3 kilometers from his home. Yeah, I find it concerning that no one has seen him. He hasn't been captured on anything. Uh, Nanalana says no camera gives whoever a perfect way to get rid of someone. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I hope we find out. Marlene says, when I first saw Sebastian's photo, I thought of Chiron Holman. Yeah, a little bit, right? A little bit. That's literally the update for Sebastian. That's it. They're going to keep searching. They're going to keep investigating. And this is from their local paper, the Lebanon Democrat, which, if I understand correctly, it's the town just like one over from where he is. All right. That's your little update on him. Actually, about 2 hours ago, is it 2 hours ago? Hope I got that right. The Channel 5 documentary, The Titan Disaster Minute by Minute aired. They aired episode 1, episode 2 airs tomorrow night, and we spoke about that last week, and it's sort of a breakdown of, well, minute by minute, and they're gonna go through everything that happened until that final press conference when they told the world that they had actually died an hour into the trip to the Titanic, and that it was what we all sort of thought it might be was that explosive like compression, and the water broke in and something failed and it just obliterated the sub and the people inside in fraction of a second. It was a real disaster. It really was. And so if you would like to watch that, it is on tonight. You might be able to catch a replay. It is on Channel 5 in the UK. Now, Alana says, I live a couple of towns over from Henderson, and there is not one single poster of Sebastian. Really? That's concerning. That is really concerning, actually. Nashville. Let's see. News Channel 5. Is this the one where I saw the article for today? Like, this is News Channel 5 in Nashville, and they don't have a story on Sebastian on the front page today at all. It's not even in their latest headlines, all down their main page. It's like they've already backed off the coverage for a lot of it. I'm trying to find what the last update on their page was for him. It looks like yesterday at 4:47 p.m. was their last update on News Channel 5 in Nashville. And that was the story we read yesterday. Here, I'll show you. That's that one where his father, Seth said, if someone has you, run and hope you can hear my voice and that type of thing. But that was their last update. So that's always concerns me when we see cases sort of drop off in coverage. I'm not, that's always concerning. All right, and we spoke about the gun armorer from Rust earlier. We did that. Showed you her verdict. We showed the verdict of her being found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Okay. Now, where's my other one? Okay. This happened today, and I'm going to show it to you. I don't know if we can watch this. Let's see. Yep. It says, video shows suspect wanted in Philly mass shooting that injured 8 at bus stop. This is the fourth shooting in less than a week involving a SEPTA bus. It says, Philadelphia police released a video of a group of suspects wanted in a mass shooting that injured 8 students at a SEPTA bus in the city's Burholm neighborhood Wednesday afternoon. The gunfire rang out around 3 p.m. at Rising Sun and Cotman Avenues as students from Northeast High School were waiting for the bus. Video shows the 3 suspects exit a dark blue 2019 Honda Sonata and open fire at the group at the bus stop. According to the Philadelphia Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel, 8 students between ages of 15 and 17 were shot. Let's watch the update on this. This is horrible.
Tonight, another act of chaotic violence at a SEPTA bus stop. 8 teenagers shot late today, targeted as they waited to go home from school. Police say this latest act of violence unfolded right here just before 3 o'clock at Cotman and Rising Sun Avenues in Burholm. We're told 3 gunmen jumped out of a car, unleashing dozens of bullets into a crowd of kids. Tonight, city police, SEPTA police, and the mayor vowing a citywide crackdown to stem this onslaught of violence. We've got team coverage here tonight. Action News' John Paul spoke with people who jumped into action after the shots were fired. Annie McCormick with more on SEPTA's new police tactics amid this surge in shooting. But let's begin here tonight with Brianna Smith live at the scene with the latest from police who moments ago gave us an update. Brianna.
Brian, a really heartbreaking situation here tonight, especially for the parents of those 8 victims. Now, police are starting to clear the scene, but the shooting unfolded behind me near that Dunkin' Donuts. Police say 8 students from Northeast High School were waiting for the bus on Rising Sun Avenue when they were shot. They say surveillance video shows a vehicle was waiting on the side of the Dunkin' Donuts around 3 p.m. When the bus showed up, 3 suspects got out of that car and shot more than 30 times into the crowd, hitting those students. Now, they range in age from 15 to 17 years old. 1 student is in critical condition while the others are in stable condition at the hospital. Police say the 3 shooters escaped in a dark blue Hyundai Elantra with paper tags. All of them are wearing masks and were last seen going over Tookaney Creek Bridge. Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel is outraged by yet another shooting with several young victims.
It's hard to sit here and see in 3 days that I have 11 juveniles shot who are going and coming from school. The cowardly acts that we've seen over the last 3 days are unacceptable. The fact that we have this situation where I've talked about it multiple times. The downstream impact when we do not address gun violence, when we do not address guns, is what we see today.
The people of this city know that we will not be held hostage, that we will use every legal tool in the toolbox to ensure the public health and safety of the people of our city.
Yes, Mayor Sherelle Parker says every law enforcement resource will be used and readily available to solve these recent crimes, including police, SEPTA, ATF, and the district attorney. The school district of Philadelphia superintendent echoes that statement and says they're heartbroken and angry by what happened today. He says counseling will be available to students and staff who need it at school tomorrow. Now, the commissioner says this is an active and ongoing investigation. They're trying to find those suspects, determine the motive, and see if it's connected to that shooting that happened on Monday, that deadly shooting where a 17-year-old was shot and killed near a SEPTA bus stop.
All I can say is, like, what the hell? And how does this even happen? Let's see the police. I want to see if this has the footage. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. Here's that car they were talking about. Okay. Buddy, you got to put the brake on the car. Then they get back in the car and take off. It almost seems like gang related, right? It's like it's a hit. Hey Vicky K, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, it almost looks gang related, right? Like a hit. Marlon Clausen says Philly is crazy. It's like its own state. They have different rules and even tax rates in the rest of the state. These are really detailed photos, everyone. Just don't be shocked at how clear they are. Don't be amazed at how clear these photos are and the detail and clarity. All right, there we go. Well, so I just want to watch this little bit again right here, because this is the way they move is interesting to me. Like it doesn't look like they were just firing. Oh my God, we hit school kids. It looks targeted, right? Like you can see it. So they park, they're waiting for something like, oh, there it is. Quick, let's go. And then they're like, they know exactly where to go. Run straight across and then bang, 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 bang. Yeah, that looks very much targeted. Very much so. It says 8 students between 15 and 18 were 15 and 17 were shot. They said they discharged the weapons multiple times. 7 other victims, including 2 15-year-olds, 4 16-year-olds, and a 17-year-old, were shot and wounded. All 7 are listed in a stable condition. Police say a 16-year-old boy was shot 9 times and rushed to hospital in critical condition. Man, if he lives, that's insane. Shot that many times as just a little kid. Bethel says over 30 shots were fired at the scene. Wow. Police really need to pick up the policing and find a way to control this. Can't be left to go for like a tit for tat battle across the city of revenge and this and that. It'll just get worse. Yeah, I hope they can put a stamp. Like, hope they can stamp this out. Can't see more kids being killed. It's horrible. Okay. Wait, hold on. All right. Okay. Let's go to our next story. It says, mother-daughter from Worcester die after neighborhood shooting. Another shooting. Too many shooting deaths tonight. It says a Massachusetts woman and her daughter died after they were shot Tuesday afternoon while in a parked vehicle on Worcester Street. Chastity Nuez and her 11-year-old daughter Zella were the victims of Tuesday's shooting in the city of Columbus Park neighborhood, according to family members. It says Worcester police said the shooting happened at 3 p.m. in the area of 1 Lisbon Street, which is near the intersection of Englewood Avenue. The shooting victims were found in a vehicle parked along Englewood Avenue with serious wounds. Officers removed the victims from the vehicle and they were transported to an area hospital where they were later pronounced dead. A statement shared by city officials indicated that Chastity and Zella were residents of the city and that Zella was a Worcester Public, I hope I'm saying that right, Worcester Public School student. She was 11 years old. A photograph of the crime scene showed that there were more than 3 dozen evidence markers in the roadway. They said this kind of thing is unusual for the city in general. This was a very violent act. A resident who lived nearby said it's awful. It's not the neighborhood. This is a quiet family neighborhood. You don't get these types of things here. Wow. 11 years old.
Who did this? Family is remembering a young mother and her 11-year-old daughter, who they describe as bright lights in this world.
These two are not talked about as victims because they were people with bright lives.
Family identifying Chastity Nunez and her 11-year-old daughter Zella as the two shot and killed while sitting in a parked car yesterday afternoon, remembering Chastity as a mother who'd do anything for her 2 daughters.
She always did her best to make sure that her girls were provided for and loved.
Family saying 11-year-old Zella was a thriving young girl, a student in Worcester Public Schools.
Was happy and healthy and funny and just so loving, and made it through all of that to be taken like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's not right.
Worcester police get multiple 911 calls just after 3 yesterday afternoon. Yellow evidence markers dotting Englewood Ave in the city's Columbus Park neighborhood. A trail of bullet holes could be seen through the front windshield and glass on the driver's side.
What the F? Sorry, I just saw that. Holy crap, look at the door. By the way, thanks for the pronunciation. You know what was messing me up? You know, Worcestershire sauce? I kept thinking about that and it kept messing up my pronunciation. I was like, is it like the sauce? No, it can't be like the sauce. This is not England. And it was messing me up. But That's awful. It's like they just came along and blasted the car. I don't know how you survived that, and they didn't, but I don't know how you could survive this. It's I don't get it. I don't get why someone would do this to someone. They really wanted whoever was in there to be injured or worse. All right, let's finish it. It's got 30 seconds.
Seen through the front windshield and glass on the driver's side. Nunez and her daughter were rushed to the hospital where they died.
It's cowardice. It's cowardice. Like you shot a woman and a little girl.
As police investigate, family are hoping whoever is responsible is held accountable.
Hug your loved ones, hug your kids. Like, women and children are dying out here. It's ridiculous.
Now we know 11-year-old Zella was a student in the Worcester Public School District. The district saying tonight it's making counselors available to any students who need them.
You know, if I hear the words blah 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 has made counselors available, do the children get sick of that when they're at school or whatever? They're like, oh, Jenny died yesterday, the counselors are back. Oh, Mickey died yesterday, the counselors are back. Like, they must get absolutely tired of it, that it happens every couple of days. Horrible. Someone asked, is there an arrest in the Worcester? Worcester? Yeah, I hope that's right. Not Worcestershire sauce. Someone asked if there's an arrest. No, I don't think so. They're saying they are... Yeah. No arrests have been reported in connection with the shooting at this time, and they don't seem to have a suspect either right now. It says the vehicle had at least 4 bullet holes on the driver's side of its windshield and multiple bullet holes in the driver's side door and window. Multiple's the wrong word. It just seemed like more than that. Just a crazy amount. It says here, investigators still examining the crime scene. Wow, I just don't... Let me see if I can find if they have released anything else. Chastity. Let's see. No, I think it only happened like so recently, but that's weird. I have never seen this before. Hold on, I'll show you. I have never seen this for American news. Check this. We're sorry, this website is unavailable in your location. Error 451. It appears you're attempting to access this website from outside a country outside of the United States. Therefore, access cannot be granted at this time. I don't think I've ever seen a local news channel do that. What are they afraid of? Kangaroos going to attack their servers? That's very odd. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can find anything else about this shooting. "21 minutes ago, NBC Boston." Let's see. No, they got more footage of that door. That's a lot of bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 25 bullets just in that little area that I just counted, and at least another 5 there, so probably like 30 bullets. That's crazy. Hold on, let's see if they have any... They said a double shooting that left a mother and daughter dead is highlighting the dangers of rapid-fire weaponry. Yeah, it does look like rapid-fire weapons. They're called... Apparently the switches in the guns are called switches or giggle switches or machine gun conversion devices. They're saying that that's what was used in this shooting. Yeah, it says there's no word that a switch was used. Oh, no word that was used in this shooting, but they suspect it might be. No arrests have been made so far. Oh, hey, here. An update? Man sought. Where is?
shooting kills a
Let's look for the man. Who's the man? Wow, there's all the evidence markers that they were talking about. Look at that. Where is this? Where's the
mother
man?
and her daughter in Worcester. Police
Trying to see where it says that they. I don't see anything here about a man. Yeah. They said it was a young mother-daughter die after being shot. One arrest made, man sought. Okay. Where is the update on this? All right, let's try this one. This is how you get around the geo block. See, this is Boston 25 News, which is the website that blocked me. Okay. It says they identify suspect wanted in connection with the murders of a young mother and the daughter. Here we go. Who are you? And why did you shoot them? Let's find out. It says the police are investigating a double murder of a young mother and her daughter who were found shot inside their parked SUV Tuesday night. The victims, who police identified as the mother and daughter, were rushed to a local hospital where they were pronounced dead. Police released a photo Wednesday night of a suspect, 27-year-old Dejan Belnavas, wanted in connection with the deadly double shooting that killed Nunez and her daughter. Belnavas is described as being 5'11", 160 pounds. Police say he is wanted on charges of armed assault with intent to murder and possession of a firearm without a license. It wasn't immediately clear whether the shooting was random or if the victims were targeted. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous and is asking anyone with information to call authorities at 508-799-8651. But who was the other person arrested? The SUV was towed away. There's a photo of the mom and daughter. It's interesting. The other article said they had one person arrested and searching for another. Seems like information is a little all over the place about this one. Dejan Belnavas. Alright. Let's search his name. CBS News, maybe? It says an arrest has been made in connection with the fatal shooting of a mother and daughter. Police have not released any details about this suspect that they arrested, but they did release that other guy, that Dejan, who was 27, and we saw his photo. Okay, they're not telling us anything about the suspect. Maybe it was a revenge attack? Bet we find out it's a crazy ex-boyfriend. Could be. I mean, that would be horrible. Like, why would you kill the 11-year-old girl, though? That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Oh, you went to a Buddhist funeral. Marjorie says no, but I spent many years in Connecticut. Okay. Jojo says, I used to tell people I would trade thoughts and prayers for clean laundry and a home-cooked meal. They didn't say it again. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a great way of saying it. Oh, that's sad, Reby. I'm sorry to hear one of your students died. Yes, James, we did do that earlier in the first show. We did the jury verdict for her. Okay, alright. If I get more information on this one, I will bring it to you. But right now, that's about it. They're not releasing anything on the original person arrested, and they're just looking for that second guy in relation to the shooting. No updates about Samantha either. Actually, here. It says, Samantha Murphy arrest. Heartbroken father of Samantha Murphy reveals a shocking way the family learned about the arrest of mystery man as grieving husband Mick breaks his silence. It says John Pudd Robson, aged in his 80s, told Daily Mail Australia on Thursday morning the arrest of the 22-year-old man had taken the family by surprise. He said, "My wife just texted me to say that it had been on the radio. We hadn't been told, and evidently Michael hadn't been told either." Around 1:45 p.m. on Thursday, however, Victorian police detectives were seen arriving at the home of the Murphy family in Ballarat, East Victoria. Mr. Robson said he knew nothing about the individual arrested by detectives and had been keeping himself busy by returning to his job as a long-distance truck driver. He said, "I'm still working. I'm still stuck in a truck up on the other side of Avoca. We haven't heard a thing, unfortunately. All my wife said is she heard it on Triple M radio that they'd arrested some bloke and that no charges had been laid yet." Mr. Robson said he had no idea of any alleged links between the 22-year-old man and his daughter. He says, "I haven't got the faintest, mate. Not in that age range. I'm never home, if you know what I mean." Mr. Robson said he remained hopeful the arrest would provide some clarity over what had happened to his daughter. "I can only hope that he is the bloke responsible, because that way we might get a bit of closure. You know, it's sort of too late to think that she might be still alive." Mr. Robson said he had given up hopes of Miss Murphy being found safe and well, and believed if his daughter was alive, he would have heard about it by now. He says, "I don't know. I'm only assuming they've grabbed him and they're going to grill him for a little while. If they've got something else in mind, that bloke might flap his gums without thinking." Addressing reporters outside his home on Thursday afternoon, Miss Murphy's husband, Mick, 53, said his family was holding up as best as possible. He says, "I can't comment on anything at the moment. The family are going okay. It's just the whole unknown." Mr. Murphy said he'd be happy to speak more about the past month when the legal process has run its course. He said, "When it comes time to talk, we'll talk, okay?" The 22-year-old was arrested shortly after 6 a.m. on Wednesday at his Ballarat home by Missing Persons Squad detectives. He remains in custody, however, no charges have been laid at this time. The arrest marks the first significant breakthrough in the case that has sent shockwaves across Australia. There you go. There's the update from the family. So a lot of them found out through the radio, like news station on the radio. How horrible. That would be a hard way to find out about an arrest in a possible murder or abduction in your family. All right. Okay, let's have a look. What else do we have on the plate tonight? I thought I had another one. Hold on. Aha, I do. One out of Washington. But I think it's going to block me again. Hold on. No, not that one. Here. It says foul play suspected in Renton business owner's disappearance. 54-year-old Raina Hernandez, who left her home in Renton Highlands on February 26 to run errands and never returned. Police suspect foul play in her disappearance. According to the Renton Police Department, Raina Hernandez, 54, left her home in Renton Highlands and never returned. Hernandez's friends reported her missing on February 28th after they became concerned when she had not returned home, answered her phone, or returned to work at her hair salon. In an update Tuesday morning, RPD said detectives had served multiple search warrants in the past 7 days, followed up on leads. The department said a friend reported that he last spoke to her between 10 and 10:30 a.m. on February 26 as she was running errands. She had reportedly told her friend that she was going to go to a home in South Renton. Investigators said Tuesday that evidence collected during search warrants indicates that Ms. Hernandez was taken against her will, and they do not believe her car is currently in the area. The RPD said detectives were in contact with her family and friends who said they still have not heard from her, which is highly unusual. Hernandez is about 6 feet tall, weighs about 210 pounds, and has black hair and hazel eyes. Investigators said she normally drives a white maroon Ford Flex with Washington plates APR 9503. Let's see. Do we have an update we can watch?
Renton police detectives are speeding up their search for a missing business owner.
Raina Hernandez was last seen more than a week ago, and now police suspect foul play in her disappearance. Camo's Paul Rivera is live outside Hernandez's business with what he's learned so far. Paul?
Well, police, they have uncovered evidence that suggests she was taken against her own will. Meanwhile, those who are in this area are hoping for any news of her safe return. That's the question those near her now closed hair salon want answered. The 54-year-old business owner has been missing for more than a week now.
I've known her for almost 10 years, I would say.
Herman Sagun used to get his hair cut by Raina. He works at the Mexican restaurant next door to Raina's business that she frequents. Herman said 2 days before her disappearance, she sat in this booth and something seemed off.
She was with two of her friends. There was something that I noticed different. She was kind of quiet that day, which I thought was kind of odd. Usually she would say my nickname. She would call me Roman as a nickname. That day she didn't really respond to me. I said hello to her first, which usually she says hi to me first, which I noticed was kind of odd.
Renton police have focused their attention on a home that Raina was going to on the day of her disappearance last week. It's one that she lived at one point, according to officials.
Her friend called her at between 10 and 10:30 on Monday, and she was going to run an errand at a home in South Renton.
Renton police spokesperson Megan Black said they've gotten search warrants, collected evidence, and spoke to the men who live at the home, except one.
There are 3 people that live in that home. We have spoken with 2 of them. One of them we would very much like to be able to speak with.
Police won't say yet what evidence they found, but they believe she was taken against her will.
Responding to anyone's inquiries, highly unusual behavior. We are working on the assumption that she is just fine, that she perhaps is just not communicating for one reason or another, and we want to contact her. We want to ensure that that's the case. But right.
So there are a few more challenges still here. So Raina's phone, we're told her phone is off. Also, her car still hasn't been found. And so far, police are still trying to speak with that man that is at that house that lives there. We know Raina's family has traveled up here from Mexico as that investigation continues. And Renton police are asking anybody who might have information about where she might be to reach out to police immediately. Reporting in Renton, Paul Rivera, Como News.
Right, this is the property where this new village is going to.
There you go. I don't know what to think about that. Another woman on the other side of the world gone missing for quite a while. Let's see, what does this say?
Yeah, well, earlier today, people were showing up at her hair salon here in Renton, asking questions about what happened. One woman who knows Raina says that it's unlike her for her to not pick up her phone and to not show up for work.
This is Raina Hernandez, a 54-year-old Hispanic woman who has been missing since Monday. Renton police say friends of Raina became concerned and reported her missing when they did not hear from her.
She's not answering her phone. She's not returning phone calls. She's typically active on social media. There's been nothing. We can't find her vehicle. Her friends can't locate her.
Veronica Tapia, who has been friends with Raina for about 10 years, tells me all she wants is to make sure she's safe.
Ella siempre avisa en dónde está.
Veronica tells me Raina always tells people where she is and if she's going on vacation.
You know, I find it weird that they're like, someone spoke to her when she was doing her errands, and then suddenly nothing. It's like someone abducted her while she was out and about doing her, daily errands. So that is very strange. But the fact that police have executed several search warrants leads me to believe they know what happened to her. They're just trying to piece it all together now. But really, really awful. Really awful. They say they're still in contact with their family. Apparently, she used to live in the home that she was going to in South Renton on the day she disappeared, Police will not say at this time what street this home is on and what specific evidence they found. Black stated that 3 men live at the home. They've spoken to 2 of the men and are still trying to speak with another. Efforts to speak with that person have so far been unsuccessful. Hernandez knew those who lived at the home, according to Black. Past dealings, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, renters. Mooch was going to boot him out. I don't know. I will let you know. I'm going to put it on my alerts and we can keep an eye on it together. Sorry, this caught my attention. 5 people charged in the felony murder in the death of an Alabama mother were denied bond. Giovanni Clapp, Blair Green, Tasia Lewis, and Sinya McCall and Ariana Robinson all appeared in court for a hearing Monday morning. During the proceedings, the state presented details of videos taken while the 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson was being held against her will. There's a photo of Mahogany there. The videos reportedly show Jackson being forced to perform oral sex at gunpoint, stripped nude, handcuffed, stomped, slapped, and spit upon. Each of the 5 defendants were present in a portion of the videos. Jeremiah McDowell, Francis Harris, and Brandon Pope are 3 other suspects who were charged in the kidnapping and murder of Jackson. They were charged with capital murder. Investigators said Harris is the suspect believed to have fired the fatal gunshot. A projectile was recovered from Jackson's head. Jackson's family was present at the bond hearing when details of the videos were given. And this is a quote. They're shaken, they're definitely shaken. It was one thing to hear a lot of what we call chitter-chatter out there, but to be in a formal setting and hear what happened to a loved one like that could be very disheartening, said Denny Carr, Jefferson County District Attorney. The attorneys representing the 5 defendants requested bond. Judge Keisha Davis said she was aware they each played separate roles, but it was a role nonetheless, and denied bond for all of them. Jackson was reported missing on February 25th and found shot to death just before 2:30 a.m. the following day. Jackson's mother, Gail Maddox, stated via social media that Mahogany sent urgent messages telling her family that she had been kidnapped and to not call but send police immediately. A candlelit vigil with a balloon release was later held in her honor at the spot where she went missing, the Serenity apartment complex in Birmingham. It says Otis Bates, Jackson's uncle, spoke for the family at the vigil, saying, "Though she has been taken from our hand, but never our heart, never." Wow. Here's a photo of all those suspects that were indicted on capital murder. Really disgusting. I hadn't heard of this one, but it caught my attention when I was about to exit the last story we were looking at. I hope all these people spend the rest of their life in jail. I know, I don't get it. Horrible. I don't know anything about that case though. Hold on. Let's see if we can find something about it. Mahogany Jackson. All right.
On the 4th, the more information we learn about the disturbing kidnapping and murder of Mahogany Jackson, the harder it is and more awful it is to hear.
Some of those suspects accused in her killing making an appearance in court today. Bria Chapman joins us now live with the latest. And Bria, the details that you heard today in court are disturbing and heartbreaking.
Yeah, Morgan, that is right. This case is beyond disturbing, and it was an emotional day in court. Now, one of the saddest details I learned today is that Mahogany Jackson came to the first location thinking these people were her friends. Investigators say they then tortured her, and the things that were described are why Judge Keisha Davis says she denied all of these suspects a bond. Now, Birmingham Police Homicide Detective Mark Green says the first stop was the home of suspect Brandon Pope. Now, that's where Jackson was beaten outside while she was naked. Officers say some of the suspects beat her while others recorded the beatings. Now, Jackson was stomped and kicked, and then prosecutors say one of the suspects can be heard saying, "Put her in the trunk." And then she was dragged naked in the street. Now, Jackson was taken to a second location, and I want to warn you, this will be hard to hear. Prosecutors say Jackson was sexually assaulted at gunpoint. Officials say she was handcuffed, beaten, pistol whipped, and then spat on. Now, Jackson's family, including her mother, were present in court today, and as they read out the evidence, you could hear them getting very emotional. DA Danny Carr says, though, this will be a long road to get justice for Mahogany, and he also explains why only 5 out of the 8 suspects were present today for the Anais Law hearing.
The individuals that are charged with capital murder, obviously, the law, the statute and the rules of criminal procedure says that their bond can be set at a no bond automatically. The individuals that are charged with felony murder, the statute requires a hearing. The next step, obviously, is there'll be further investigation with Birmingham Police Department.
Yeah, another sad thing we learned today was that the suspects wanted the password to Mahogany Jackson's phone. Officials say they even told her if she gave it to them, they would let her go, only to kill her anyway. Now, live at 5, you'll hear what District Attorney Danny Carr says he told the family today.
Can't believe it, right? The fact that she thought they were her friends, like Diana says. Terrible. Yeah, sometimes you got to be careful of people, pretending to be your friend. Yeah, thank you for recording. We appreciate you handing over evidence. That is 100% right. Like says, what a bunch of pieces of garbage, pure evil. I agree. Using women as playthings or inanimate objects is disgusting. It really is. It is sick. I agree. We're just having an epidemic of women, being killed for, stupid reasons. Well, at least we can parade these idiots around and show them what worthless subhumans they are. And that's what we should do. Plaster their names and images everywhere. I mean, it's the smallest we can do. Hold on, let me find something. Here's these idiots. Here. Ariana Robinson, Giovanni Clapp, Blair Green, Brandon Pope, Francis Harris, Jeremiah McDowell, Sinya Nicole, and Tasia Lewis. These are all the worst of the worst in humanity. They are the worst, and they hopefully will spend the rest of their natural born lives under a prison somewhere in a jail cell. Hopefully, for their part in what they did to that woman. We're about to wrap up anyway, Cheryl. Yeah, I think that was the worst part. When you torture someone and, prolong their suffering for your own entertainment, it's disgusting. Burnt popcorn, what state is this? Alabama. It's a good idea. I Hate Mornings. I Hate Mornings says, I really think we need to have after-school activities that give exposure to activities so kids can have activities they enjoy. Having the 12 to 18-year-old kids run wild isn't working. Crimes cost more. Indeed. All right. Let's finish with the sub. Where is it? Is this it? No. Now, where is that? Minute by minute. Yeah, I can show it to you. And if you want to watch it after we get off, you can probably find it somewhere.
But then, an extraordinary development.
Late in day 2, CNN reports that the Canadians heard banging noises at 30-minute intervals from under the ocean, and that changed everything.
This is the sound that was heard.
Sounds like it could be somebody knocking. The symmetry between those knockings is very unusual. It's rhythmic, it's like somebody is making that sound. And the fact that it's repeated is really unusual.
The reports of banging quickly spread. Could the sounds mean a rescue is possible?
Maybe the banging sounds were coming from the Titan.
So people were like, oh my God, they are still alive.
There you go. So if you want to watch that, you can. Channel 5 out of the UK. It's called Minute by Minute. Let me see what the full name is. The Titan Sub Disaster Minute by Minute. Episode 1 was tonight. Episode 2 tomorrow night. And I think it'll be an interesting watch. It was almost a year ago that happened and had us enthralled. I know I was. I was locked to coverage of what happened to that sub for like a week. Marlene says, I think only 2 are male. Yeah, whoops, sorry. I did read that and then I did the opposite. So congratulations, Ping. Congratulations for getting details wrong. Okay. I think we're just about done. I think we're just about done for the 9 p.m. show. I don't believe there'll be a late show today because we've already done an early show, now this show, and I just don't think there'll be a late show tonight. Unless there's some sort of big developments in Samantha's case a bit later, they tell us what charges this person has or something, or they call a press conference. That would be the only way. Let me just see if there's any update before we go, because it would be just like me. Oh, here we go. Actually, breaking news. Breaking news. Police investigating the disappearance of Samantha Murphy have charged a 22-year-old Scottsburn man with 1 count of murder. That is breaking now. Wow, 1 minute ago. Police have charged a 22-year-old man from Scottsburn over the alleged murder of Samantha Murphy. He will face court this afternoon. Her body is yet to be recovered. Yep, there you go. That happened just moments ago. Let's see if I can find an update. Wow, the news are reacting slowly on this. Come on, news. Let's see. Nope. No, you're getting it here first, apparently. Police investigating the disappearance of Samantha Murphy has charged a 22-year-old Scottsburn man with 1 count of murder. All right, let's see. No one has it as an article as of yet. I don't know if they will call a press conference after his court hearing tonight. So I think they believe that she is deceased. The fact that they're charging him with 1 count of murder, I'd say they believe she is no longer with us. Apparently, Samantha Murphy's husband just told media. Hold on for a second. I might be able to find something. Hold on.
And charged with 1 count of murder. The man will face Ballarat Magistrates Court. Leaders from Southeast Asia.
To people.
concession speech, he might not have made it into every
Disappearance of
follow the crowd. The former UN ambassador chose not to endorse the likely Republican nominee, instead challenging her for.
Hold on, I'll pause that until it finishes. Hold on. Come on, news. Sorry, we're not political. Ignore this. We don't care about this stuff. We do true crime. Ah, come on, live stream. We're gonna have to just wait a few seconds. This is going way longer than I thought it was going to. What the hell? Let's see. No.
Well, we have some breaking news regarding the disappearance of Samantha Murphy. Detectives from the Missing Persons Squad have this afternoon, they say, charged a man as part of their investigation into the disappearance of Samantha Murphy, a Ballarat East woman. A 22-year-old Scotsburn man was arrested at his home address. That was shortly after 6 a.m. yesterday, on Wednesday. He was subsequently interviewed by police and charged with 1 count of murder. The man will face Ballarat Magistrates Court this afternoon, and police are yet to recover Samantha Murphy's body, and the investigation remains ongoing. That news just in: a charge of murder has been placed against the man who has been arrested regarding the disappearance of Samantha Murphy. 3 sailors have been killed.
The World Food
Alright, there we go. I'm back. Alright, there you go. That was the news update. And it just says here, a man has been charged with murder over the disappearance of Ballarat woman Samantha Murphy. He will face Ballarat Magistrates Court this afternoon. The investigation remains ongoing. Man, I wish they would. I wonder why they charged him. That he must not want to give up where she is. Because I feel like that's why they held him for so long, to try and get him to reveal where he put her. I really think that's the case. I really think that's why it took over 24 hours, was they were grilling him to try to get the location of her remains. And I don't think he's given it up. That's why they finally charged him with murder, because it must have just ended. They were just like, he's just not going to do it. Wow, that is horrible. Hopefully they'll be able to figure it out somehow and bring her home to her family. Today must be an awful day for her husband, for her children. I mean, you saw the interview with her daughter, who made an appeal for mum to come home. Can't even begin to imagine how that daughter feels today, knowing that mum's never coming home. Yeah, he's been arrested. I mean, he's been charged with 1 count of murder so far. Maybe, yeah, possibly. That's sort of the theory people were going on. But that's it. That's all the information. And they haven't called a press conference at this stage either. No press conference at this time. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. I think that's what the police arrived at the husband's property at 1:45 p.m. today. That was only like 30 minutes ago, and I believe that's when they told him that they were charging this guy with murder. Because that's funny how it came out just slightly after that. Yeah, it says the shattered husband of missing mother of 3 Samantha Murphy has revealed a 22-year-old arrested over her disappearance has been charged with her murder. Miss Murphy's husband, Mick Murphy, was informed by homicide detectives of the development just before 2 p.m. on Thursday. It's 2:24 p.m. now. So, yeah, just happened. Just breaking. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, it is breaking news. First time they have mentioned murder in a official capacity. Now charges of murder. Really horrible. Really horrible. We're going to find out more about this person. Where is this suburb they were talking about, though? I'm not good with the area. Let me see. Okay, police will hold a press conference at 3:45 p.m. today. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to try go feed my cats and eat something. I'm going to come back at 3:40 and we're going to do the press conference, okay? So at 3:40 in an hour and 15 minutes, we're going to come back and do a third live stream for today. Thank you. Marlene says, I'm glad you were still live when this came out, Ping. I know you covered it from the beginning. Thank you. I did. Just like Aaron Patterson and Elijah Vu and a few others. We've tried to keep following these all the way to their conclusions. Would like happier conclusions of people heading home. That would be nicer. But yeah, we'll be back in an hour and about 10 minutes or 45 minutes. 3:45. So that'll be 11:45 Eastern time. So come back then to watch the press conference with police, Victorian police. Okay? All right, let me thank a couple of people. I'd like to thank Vicky K, Peekaboo Cockatiel, and Betty C for supporting the channel tonight. I really appreciate that. That helps a lot. As you guys can see, it really is almost a full-time job. It really is. And but I love doing it for you guys. I really do. And your support of this channel and liking and being here every night and leaving comments is really appreciated. And thank you to all the new subscribers of this channel. It's great to have you here. Hope you stick around for more true crime news. That's it. Yep, I'll let you guys go to Trish. Yeah, but you're welcome to come back at 11:45 to watch the press conference. Okay? All right. I'll see you at 11:45, everyone. Thank you, Moonlight View, for dropping in. I appreciate it. And thanks to everyone in the chat for sticking with us all day. See you in about an hour. Bye-bye.